guys and gals? Never here from Drake Wing Gaming. Some of you on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you on the Let's Play episode of Violet Memoir, Leigh's Path. So y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Did she sound upset at what I was doing? No, she agreed with you, actually. I told you, mature kid. An absolute menace, and I wouldn't trust her for a second with many things, but I trust her to understand when something's important. And you're important to me. Really? Right, stupid question. It's cute, but you worry me. I've been getting that a lot lately. Did you get everything at least? I think so. Mostly just grabbed you what you really wear, plus something extra in case you wanted to wear it. Did Charlie put you up to that? No, I thought I should grab it. Why's that? I like it when you wear it. I like it when you wear it. Really now? I'll have to keep that in mind. Was that a little much? Wallace, you didn't just ask if you complimenting how I look in my own clothes is okay, did you? It felt a little, presumptuous. More like forward. He leans down to my ears. I can feel his fur against my own as the grip on my shoulder loosens and his hands make their way down my arms. Each action is slow and sensual, leaving me feeling overwhelmed but still wanting more. You do that sometimes. You get a little pushy. You can be fucking stubborn when you want to be. There's a rough growl in his voice as he emphasizes his words, and it has me a little scared, but a little more of something else very different. I can't even get my lips to form words, let alone find the air from them. I like it. With one final nip on my ear, he takes a step away as if nothing happened, as if he didn't just shove my heart up into my throat and make many parts of my body feel very tense. Too much? Yeah, too much. Sorry, bad habit. That's a habit? You don't usually act like that. Like I keep saying, you never saw me when I was younger. I didn't dislike it, it's just a lot. No shit, you're trembling. I am? Come on, let's get you to Lily's. We can talk about that another time, when you're ready for it. Okay. That's all I'm able to say as my brain continues to short-circuit. It's like he completely fried any ability for me to make a proper thought. Despite what he said, he looks more than a little proud of himself, and I can't deny that I'm feeling a lot of different ways. None of them bad. Lily gave us the go-ahead to come over to her house and sent directions to my phone. Leigh offered to lead me since he knew the way, but I refused. I wanted to know the way in case I had to come back here alone. I didn't need to be getting lost by myself somewhere I didn't know. Central Everwinter is a pretty safe place to be, mostly due to all the college students and infrastructure built to support them, but I'd still rather avoid wandering aimlessly around. It didn't take us too long, though Lily is a little further away from campus than I expected, but I suppose it makes sense. This is her parents' home, not somewhere that she's staying for college. My parents' house is even further away than this. I did almost miss a turn once because I got distracted talking to Leigh about some of the songs I was showing him last night. But we finally make it to her house before the sun fully sets, thankfully. All the buildings in this area aren't too fancy, but the neighborhood is quiet and looks pretty safe. Second, water time. Alright, guys and gals, and we are back. Let's jump back into it, shall we? Okay. Something you'd see from a middle-class family that are doing well enough for themselves. Lily's house is around the same. Just a single-story house with a small front yard. Doesn't look like to be any garage, and there's no car parked in the driveway. Doesn't look like Lily's father is home yet. I don't think her dad is home yet. He must work really late. Makes sense. Needs to provide for his daughter in college as a single parent. Trust me, it's way more expensive than it seems. I already thought it sounded pretty expensive. And it's even more expensive. That's kind of terrifying. You have no idea. Sounds like he's got a pretty stable job or a lot of savings if he can afford a place like this. Is your house anything like this? Kinda. We were pretty close to the beach and my house was a bit bigger than this. We had 2 stories and an attic, but it wasn't anywhere near as wide as this. Lily's home looks like it could easily have a garage attached onto the side of it, but the lack of a large door doesn't make that seem likely. Mom and Dad's place is tall, but it isn't very wide. I wouldn't be surprised if this house had more rooms than theirs despite only being 1 floor. We shouldn't wait outside. It's pretty suspicious to be loitering around someone's house in a place like this, especially when you look like me. Leigh shrugs his leather jacket for emphasis. He tries to look nonchalant, but there's no hiding those twinges of red on the inside of his ears. I guess we should just knock. You wanted to lead, go ahead. I guess that's coming back to bite me. It's a door. You'll be fine. We walk up to the door, and I'm barely able to get 2 knocks out before I can hear Lily rushing to get to the door, all but ripping it off of the hinges in her excitement. Come in, come in! I was wondering when the 2 of you would get here. I was getting worried. It's nearly 7. My house isn't even that far. Sorry, I ended up getting distracted talking to Charlie. I think this is on everyone for talking so much during our little meeting, and we kind of wasted a lot of time. Oh, come in already. You're letting all the warm air out. Hurried along by Lily's rushing to keep her door closed, we enter what looks to be a very wide room that looks to encompass a living room, a dining room, and a kitchen. Each area is sectioned off by a step or a change in flooding, but it's still all one room. We're currently standing in a large area that would likely be the dining room due to the large table in the center. Next to it is the kitchen, sectioned off by a bench, and further down the house is a small step down to the living room where a large TV and 3 different leather sofas are waiting. No wonder your house is so wide. This room is huge. Dad likes an open floor plan, plus he's obsessed with wanting to renovate the place. He hasn't done it yet, but he keeps saying he will. Where is he? Dad? He's coming home from work still. He's picking up some pizza for us, so he'll be a little later than normal. I told him it wasn't truly a sleepover, but he still insisted. That's nice of him. I think he's just excited to have some more noise in the house. Mom lived to sing and mess around with flowers, so there used to be a lot of noise. He even turned our garage into a greenhouse. That explains the extension on the side. You took out the door, too? We didn't need it, and it was pretty ugly. Mom said it would upset her flowers if they had to look at it all day. Can't imagine having a greenhouse in your home. I think I made a mistake. It really isn't that special. There's only a few flowers in there. I told you, he hasn't done any serious renovations. Part of it already had a see-through ceiling, so they just changed that area to being a makeshift greenhouse and removed the door. It's not a big garage, so the rest of it is just used for storage. So, you know, out of that water, so we're going to do this water. There we go. Like I said, he really wants to renovate. He said he'll change the whole thing into a greenhouse one day. I don't know if that's really possible, but I'm not going to stop him. I think it'll be great. I'd support him either way. Sorry, I rambled there. Let me show you around where you'll be staying. Lily quickly shows us the rest of the house, mostly just to where the 3 bedrooms are located alongside the bathroom. There's a secondary toilet nearby that's only for guests that we can use freely. But the tour barely lasts a minute before she shows us the guest bedroom, refraining from showing us either her or her father's rooms. The guest room has the same beige wallpaper as the rest of the house, something that should be pretty bland, but I'm grateful for something so warm and inviting. The room itself is pretty empty, looking like a larger version of Charlie's room. There's a single queen-size bed with a small dresser on the left and a nightstand on the other side with a lamp on it. I didn't expect there to be more than that, but it's more than enough. Leigh looks really impressed with this place, but it makes sense. He hasn't had a room to himself since he used to live with his dad. Now let you two settle in. Dad would likely be a bit. He's currently working on the other side of town and loves to get it from this authentic Italian place, so it'll take a bit. You probably got 30, maybe 40 minutes. Get comfy, and I'm going to go give a certain possum a call. That catches Lee's attention, but she's already around the corner and down the hall before he could even hope of getting a word out, though he doesn't look that interested in trying. With a single shrug, we start packing things away into the dresser. Normally, I just leave my clothes inside my bag whenever I go on a trip, but Leigh was pretty adamant about keeping things tiny. I thought it might take us a while, but we were done before 5 minutes even passed. I guess he has a point about just doing it. Before long, I'm just lying on the bed watching as Leigh appreciates the room. It looks significantly nicer than either of our apartment buildings. I think it's as big as my entire apartment, which isn't a lot, but it had 2 beds. It's a nice room, right? Ain't had a room this nice in a long time. Orphanage was nice, but hard to appreciate it when you share it with so many other kids. You think it'll help? I think so, and if it doesn't, I have the 2 of you nearby, right? If my nightmares somehow come to life, I have a feeling Lily and her dad would beat them up. I'm more worried about the monsters we can see, Wallace. He sits next to me on the bed, his hand placed on my arm as he stares down at me with a mixture of affection and a bit of worry. It makes my heart sink a little while also swelling it up. It's a strange feeling. Leigh! Oh. Oh boy, that was a turn. I'm cut off by the sound of a loud slam echoing throughout the house. It's loud enough that Leigh's instantly on his feet with his fur bristled and his lips curled back. The sound reverberates throughout the house in an unnatural enough, causing a familiar sickly feeling in my chest that I can't quite place, but everything feels wrong all of a sudden. After it ends, neither of us move as we listen to the silence. A silence that shouldn't exist. Did Lily somehow not hear that? There's no way. Even headphones with music wouldn't block that out. I jump off the bed and head to the door. Leigh reaches out to stop me, but I slip through his hand. I really need to check on Lily to make sure she's okay. Wallace! Leigh hisses at me and trudges after me, but I ignore him, quickly rushing through the door before he can stop me. If she needs my help, I can't leave her behind. I know Leigh will be following behind me. Except it isn't the hallway on the other side of the door. It's something much, much worse. A scene that I've seen too many times by now appears in front of me, and I don't hesitate to retrace my steps, hoping to get back through the door I came in while I still can, hoping that maybe I can slip back out of this nightmare. But I bump into something along the way, softer than a door and with a scent that's both comforting and terrifying at the same time. Leigh's claws tighten on my shoulders as I realize I'm not alone this time, and that somehow terrifies me even more. I've always been alone in these strange dreams, with the singular exception of the hospital visit. That one was easily the most scary. Not because things were any worse than the others, though they definitely were, because the others could have gotten hurt. And now Leigh's here too. Even if it's just a dream, I don't know what would happen if we got seriously hurt or worse. No matter what the others say, this isn't a normal dream. I expected Leigh to have said something by now, but he's completely silent. He looks rattled, but nowhere near as shocked as someone in our situation should be. If anything, he looks to already be trying to find something. I would have assumed the exit, but his eyes keep looking over the walls and furniture. Wallace. Huh? Is this the dream you've been having? Yeah. He doesn't say anything before grabbing my hand and turning around, dragging me with him as he tries to go back the way we came. Except we can't. Behind us isn't an open door leading straight into Lily's guest room, but a closed door. A very familiar closed, too, that I've encountered already in this place. Sorry, y'all. Cat was in here being annoying. Leigh doesn't hesitate, though, and grabbing the door with a sense of urgency that starts to make my heart race. Even when we were stuck in the hospital, he didn't look anywhere near this anxious. But no matter how much he pushes and pulls, he can't get the door to budge. Despite how worn it looks, he can barely get it to rattle. Shit. After nearly a full minute of trying, he finally pulls away, though he looks significantly more disheveled. He's panting, his hair is matted down with sweat, and I can see a drop of it fall off the tip of his nose. He is massaging the inside of his palms, which look irritated to the point of being red. Are you okay? It's nothing. Just couldn't get this fucking door open. It wouldn't happen last time either. Sounds about right. How did you get out last time, assuming this is a dream? You don't think it is? Stay on topic, Wallace. We can talk about that later. Right. Sorry. I try my hardest to not wince at his reprimand, but I've never heard Leigh scold me that harsh tone before. He catches it, though, and I can see all his features slump from his ears to his tail. Sorry, kid, sorry, Wallace, I'm a little on edge. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. We'll see how these two get out of it in the next episode. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!